First off, we're going to start with the non-changes at the front, Ferrari and McLaren. Leclerc is on a pretty much lifetime contract at Ferrari and Lewis is on a multi-year deal. The same goes for Norris, who will definitely stay at McLaren now that they've improved, and Oscar Piastri has a contract until the end of 2026. The two of them might have some clashes throughout the year, but you would be dumb to leave a team that is as good as McLaren at their peak, so they'll both be staying. Sauber now, Bortoleto and Hulkenberg will both stay. Bortoleto is a back-to-back F3 and F2 champion and also is Brazilian, which will do bits for Audi when they become a thing in 2026, and it goes without saying that Hulkenberg will see out his contract into next year. It's a very strong lineup and one that works perfectly for the team and both of its drivers. Williams also won't be changing their lineup. They've both got contracts going beyond 2026. Sainz is the former Ferrari driver who matched Leclerc quite a lot, and Albon is the guy who started this Williams revival, so it would make sense to keep them both. Now we've got Red Bull. Last year was a disastrous one for their standards, and it may well cost them their prized possession in Max Verstappen. Jos Verstappen and Christian Horner don't like each other, and now that Wheatley and Newey are both gone, who is keeping Max there? He has a contract until 2028, but is he going to see it out? No. But I do think he'll stick around until 2026, give Red Bull a chance in the first year of the new regs, and if they become a midfield team, then he's going to be out of there. And Lawson, I mean, there's no one else coming through at the moment, so unless he's absolutely shocking, I think he's going to stay. Haas are another team that won't be changing their lineup. They've both got contracts beyond 2025, and why would you sign a driver like Ocon just to drop him after a year? Behrman is also just in the waiting room while he waits for the Ferrari seat to open up. More stability for Haas is perfect for them, and now instead of having older drivers, they've now got a stable young driver pairing. Mercedes have no reason to change their lineup for 2026, unless Antonelli is really bad, which I don't think he will. They've got a really good lineup which won't be clashing with each other all the time, like in the Hamilton Russell days, and so everyone will be staying happy. Alpine will be making a change, and unfortunately it's going to be Colapinto and Gasly going into the 2026 reg changes. Doohan is definitely not a bad driver, but you don't just give Williams a bag for their reserve just to make him your reserve. Colapinto comes with the backing of one of the most passionate and driver-starved nations in the form of Argentina, and you just can't turn that down, especially if you're trying to sell the team to investors. It does also help that he's a very quick driver. Personally, I hope Doohan does enough to keep the seat, but realistically, he's already lost it. And Gasly goes without saying as well. Aston will also be making a change because after 10 years of terror, it is finally time for Stroll to go. Last year was a major step backwards for Lance, and although he's been alright so far in his F1 career, it's just getting worse year on year. And with Newey coming in as well as Honda, he's getting booted out. I did say this last year as well, so I've known this for a while. Honda are literally making Aston Martin's engines, so they definitely have some power, and will use this to sign Yuki Tsunoda as he finally breaks away from the Red Bull purgatory. Alonso and Yuki could be a real power couple in the Aston Martin team, and I see it coming true. Talking about Tsunoda, with him leaving VCARB, that opens up a seat at that team. With not too many talents coming through in the Red Bull Academy, and Hadjar clearly being a good driver, I think they'll keep him in the team and give him the Yuki treatment. So his teammate is either Ollie Goethe, Pepe Marti, or Arvid Lindblad, the three highest Red Bull juniors. Goethe is an underrated driver, but won't get the seat, maybe in 2027. Marti is a bit mid, and so that leaves us with Lindblad, the youngest of the three and probably the one that is on the best trajectory to F1. He was literally born in 2007. I am now older than a future F1 driver. I'm gonna kill myself. He's decided to begin his rise up the motorsport ladder at the perfect time, as it's almost certain that a Red Bull affiliated seat will open up in 2026, and so it's his to lose. It will be dependent on how well he performs in F2, and he's up against Goethe, who will also be in his debut season in the series. I think Lindblad will come out on top, and it will be Hadjar on him in the VCARB seat in 2026. And now, the biggest mystery of all the teams, Cadillac. The 21st and 22nd seat opens up so many avenues to the junior drivers coming through the ranks, but unfortunately, at least in their first year, they won't be utilising this. This is because they are almost guaranteed to have an American in the seat, and that will probably be Colton Herta, the two-time just missed out on a seat driver, and also an experienced driver next to him to mentor Herta and give the team, well, experience. Who goes in this experienced seat is unknown. I want it to be Magnussen. The public seems to want Vettel, even though we all know he's never coming back to F1, and the obvious choice looks to be Valtteri Bottas. Although I do feel Bottas has definitely shown he's starting to lose it, who else would you get? Giovinazzi? Marcus Ericsson? If I want to get the points come the end of the year, I'll say that Bottas and Herta will be Cadillac's drivers for 2026, but if I wanted my ideal driver lineup, it would be Herta and Felipe Drogovic. Exploit the Brazilian market for God's sake, we don't want to see another season of Bottas tarnishing his legacy even further at the back of the grid. So my final driver lineups for 2026, the driver lineups for 2026. McLaren will be Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Ferrari will be Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Red Bull will stay with Max Verstappen and Liam Lawson. Mercedes stick with George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. Aston Martin will keep Fernando Alonso and drop Lance Stroll, who will be replaced by Yuki Tsunoda. Alpine will keep Pierre Gasly while swapping Jack Doohan and Franco Colapinto around. Haas will stick with Esteban Ocon and Ollie Behrman for at least another year. VCARB will keep Hadjar on while pairing him with whichever Red Bull Jr. finish highest in the F2 standings. I personally think this will be Oli Goethe, but Lindblad is the more exciting pick, so he'll get the nod. Williams will keep Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. Sauber will keep Nico Hulkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto as they become Audi, and our 11th team Cadillac will have a lineup consisting of Valtteri Bottas and Colton Herta. If I get all 22 predictions right, you have to subscribe to this channel when I react to this in December. You've heard it here first. If not, dislike the shit out of it. Thanks for watching.